Sharon. Give me a call back when you get from your tour because it's Friday and I need some money to go chill with my crew. So call me back.
Should I rhyme or start with the hook?
Start with the hook.
Start with the hook.
To
Go
my
ahead.
people who don't want to go to work.
All right, Zoe. So we had another Friday, our happy hour Fridays, the MoZo Show. I'd like to thank all of the podcasts in this week. This week, we're going to be covering relationships on this podcast. So we're going to do relationships and intimacy. And we have a very special guest on this podcast today. We got the original goody girl herself. You know, the girl with all the goodies. We got Goody Howard here. What we're going to be doing is she's a relationship expert, especially in the intimacy section. So she's going to go over all that. But before we get into it with her, Zoe, I just want you to go ahead and give her bio, give a little brief history of Goody before you let her go into a little bit of herself, and just explain to the listeners out there what she's all about.
Okay, good. So here's a brief bio of Miss Goody Howard, and I'm gonna let her kind of fill in the blanks and tell everyone a little bit more about her. But she's from aladyinthesheets.com. It's an online adult shopping experience. Their mission statement is empowering through sexual exploration, education, and awareness. And Miss Goody Howard is the owner. She hosts many play dates and workshops, and they focus on intimacy, sex positivity for men, women, and couples all across the country. And some of the topics we're going to get into today is sex toys in general. We're going to talk about sex toys for men, even though, men are real hesitant to want to start talking about sex toys and all that kind of stuff. So I'm interested to see what she's going to talk about. It's kind of new to me. But anyway, how to use sex toys. And then we're going to get into some questions that most people have. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Miss Goody and let her just talk a little bit more about how she started her business and her history in her business, and then she'll get into her first point about sex toys.
Okay, Miss Goody.
Okay, well, hi, fellas. First and foremost, it's a pleasure to be here with y'all today.
Thank you for being on the show.
Pleasure is ours.
My pleasure. My pleasure. My name is Goody Howard. I am the owner and operator of aladyinthesheets.com. And the mission statement is, empowering through sexual exploration, education, and awareness. So the exploration is the sex toys. The education is I teach oral technique workshops.
Okay.
I teach I teach the art of undress workshop, which is basically like strip tease. And I also do like sex ed, safer sex, healthy dating, that kind of stuff. And then the awareness comes with sexual responsibility and HIV and AIDS awareness. I do a lot of work here in the city of Dallas, and I've actually gone to the International AIDS Conference in DC, representing the state of Texas.
Now, there's certain. I'm sorry, Goody. Is there certain organizations that you work with the HIV awareness and things that you do?
There are a few. I actually am the Dallas ambassador for the Red Pump Project,
Okay.
which is it's a national initiative based out of Chicago for the empowerment of women and girls in HIV and AIDS. And I'm the Dallas rep for that. And I also have my own nonprofit called The Goody Project, and we focus more on proactive and reactive HIV and AIDS, which is safer sex and healthy dating, like, prior to they getting to the age of where they're having sexual activity, and just kind of trying to get them before they get in. So we do a lot of confidence building and etiquette and training, because no one can unlearn. And then we do a lot of reactive, which is the testing drives and things of that nature, once they become sexually active, to help them stay on the right path to keeping their status.
That's wonderful.
That's great.
And I work with the city of Dallas on a few things as well. So it just depends on what the target market for the activism is, for the outreach is, of which organization I'll be representing at that time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else?
Well, no, I've been doing this for 8 years.
Okay.
Ultimately, I want to be a doctor of human sexuality. I'll be starting my master's in the fall for family therapy and marriage counseling.
Great.
And then I'll go on to get my doctorate of human sexuality. And so this is not, people, I sell sex toys. This is a life path for me. This is a career path for me. I'm very passionate about helping people have the best sex they can have.
Oh, great. All right. Well, we'll get right into it with the sex doctor. Okay. Well, Goody. Well, since I'm a male,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really have too much experience in the sex toy department myself, we'll get into the sex toys.
Okay.
So, just explain to, all of our listeners exactly what that is and everything that entails.
Okay, well, there are lots of different accessories for men. The most common one that everyone knows about is light.
Okay.
And the fleshlight is the street term for it is a pocket pussy. I'm not a fan of that phrase. But essentially, it's a man-made kind of. It has this jelly consistency. They're really awesome. Some of them are closed-ended. Some of them are open-ended. They're textured, so there are different types of texture. There's ridges and nubs and waves and all types of different textures on the inside, on the canal of the accessory. Okay. And you put lube in it and you use it. Basically, they're called strokers. There are some accessories that can be used in with oral technique, with oral sex. I know you guys have seen the grapefruit videos. I'm sure you've seen the video about the grapefruit.
I haven't seen a grapefruit video. It's an actual grapefruit?
Yeah, there's a grapefruit, and and I'm sad because the grapefruit looked delicious before she defiled it. But what she does is, it's a lady named Angel, and she's on YouTube, and she cuts the ends of the grapefruit off. She brings it to room temperature and cuts the ends of the grapefruit off, and then she cuts a little hole in the middle of the grapefruit and slides it over her partner's penis as a sort of a manual manipulation accessory. So she's using it with her hand on the shaft of the penis while she's performing oral sex on the rest of the penis.
That sounds amazing.
And
no, I'm just
yeah, you'd think so, right? But here's the deal: there are accessories that do that you can clean and use over and over and over again.
Okay.
Okay, so they're a little bit safer for your partner.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. That acidity sounds like that may be a problem.
Yeah, that's exactly what the problem is. And so I will be doing a video kind of critiquing that whole grapefruiting situation, because I've had a lot of my clients reach out to me and ask me about this grapefruit stuff. But there are a lot of accessories that do what the grapefruit does, and it just feels a little different. It's safer for sex, types of things, but there's so many accessories that are geared toward that. And then for fellas, we also have cock rings, which they're made out of lots of different materials. But you know how when you put a rubber band around your finger, and you know how the blood kind of stays on one side and it gets more sensitive? Okay, what a cock ring is that same principle. You lube it up and you slide it to the base of the penis, and it helps sustain erection. It makes the penis more sensitive. It makes it a little bit more plump. Ejaculation and premature ejaculation, and it's kind of like a penis support for the base of the penis.
So it's kind of like the limitless pill for penises. You ever seen Limitless, the movie?
No, it's not limitless, because you still have I have. It's not limitless, no, but it does enhance your situation. And what I have a list of clients that are men that are recently divorced, or they were in monogamous relationships and suddenly they're single again, and they're having an issue with transitioning from unprotected sex to protected sex. They're having trouble maintaining an erection while wearing a condom and things of that nature. And if you're getting over that hump, a cock ring is a great accessory to use, because it'll help you maintain the erection until you don't need it, like training wheels, I guess, to help you maintain your erection while wearing a condom, so that you can until you don't need it anymore, when you get more comfortable with the condom. Also, I would suggest lifestyle skin condoms, because they're a little bit different than latex condoms, but that's another story.
Now let me ask you. I'm sorry. Let me ask you this, Goody, because I do have I've talked to a lot of people, and so I can't use condoms and A, B, and C and everything. I mean, so for those type of things, because with men, we have the mindset of, oh, I don't need something else. The sex toy department isn't really our department, especially when it comes to things like you said, penis rings, things like that. It's like, oh no, I don't need this, because so forth and so on. So our men listening to this show, just if you can just elaborate on that for them, just with what I'm asking, like those. Yeah, that's like, I don't need that, correct.
Well, I do a lot of co-ed toy parties here in the city, and they're not couple, men and women, and a lot of times the fellas do give me pushback. So that's a great question. Essentially, no one needs sex toys.
Correct.
Okay, they are an addition. They are enhancement. They help you, explore a different part of your sexual experience that you may not have explored before. So a cock ring, when I have fellas, that I give those away at my co-ed parties. That's actually like the free gift for the fellas when they come to the co-ed party. And okay, use it with oral sex first to kind of see how it makes you feel. Because you'll notice a difference in your sexual experience before she will with the cock ring, because it's on you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's not necessarily, no one needs sex toys. No one needs an extra piece of cake. Hell, but you want it.
Ooh, you know that extra piece of cake's so good.
So it's all about just, again, the exploration part of my mission statement. So it's just about kind of pushing that envelope just to see what else you can do with your body and see what other sensations you enjoy. The cock rings, they come in so many different kinds, different shapes, made out of different things. They have the double cock rings that go to the base of the penis and behind the balls. They have oh yes,
man.
I saw you. They have vibrating cock rings, so that have like a clitoral stimulator at the top, so that your partner, the clit is stimulated and it vibrates, so you can feel the vibration in the base of your penis, and your partner can feel it on her clit. It's like incentive for her to get all the way to the bottom. I call them love saddles. So it's like incentive for her to take it all, right? Because then if she gets to the base, then she'll get that vibration directly on her clit. Who doesn't love that?
I don't
we also
know
have
anyone.
remote control vibrating cock rings. So like
Now is there an iPad app for that? Can you
there are some
really?
now that we don't have any cock rings that are iPad app, but they do have some GPS vibrators.
Oh,
get out of here.
So wait a minute.
Absolutely.
So okay, by GPS. So what does that really mean? What is it?
That means you can log in on your computer.
Okay.
And you can make it vibrate wherever it is on the planet based on satellites.
Wow.
It brings so much closer together.
Wow.
I got a question. Hold on, I got a question. That's something new.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of. So good. Let me ask you this. So we're all on a budget. So say we take $40 and we're gonna go shop with you on your website, and we're trying to put together some kind of bundle or something or another. What do we get with that $40? What is it that we must have that's gonna make everything so much better? As a couple.
For couples, yes.
$40.
Well, okay, first of all, at Christmas time and Valentine's time, I do have goodie baskets that I put together personally with my picks of what'll help make, your situation a little better. I call them the Christmas one is nice to be naughty. So
it is
essentially, isn't it? I say be good or be good at it. I would say a bullet is the most versatile sex toy you can use. And bullet has so many things going on. A bullet's like it vibrates. It's a little egg-shaped vibrator. They have them cordless. They have waterproof. They have with a cord. There are double bullets. There are bullets that are plug into your USB on your computer, so they don't need batteries. There are bullets that are discreet. They look like a lipstick. They're just small clitoral stimulants. You can use it on her clit while you're actually penetrating her with the penis. Okay? You can put it inside her and perform oral sex on the outside of the vagina and the vulva and the clitoris. Okay? You can put it under your chin like this. I know you guys can see me, but the people listening as well, you can put it under your chin while you're performing oral sex on your partner, and they can feel the vibration sex. You can massage the scrotum with the bullet in your hand while you're performing oral sex. There are bullets that have a little ring on the back of them so they won't fall out of your hand. Juggle the balls and the ring at the same time.
So it's kind of like a ring pop.
It's kind of like a ring pop, but it vibrates.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we have them that.
So while we're talking about this, Goody, I'm just gonna move into the.
Well, I still haven't told you what's in the
basket.
No.
I'm gonna let you do that, but I'm gonna let you do that, but I just want you to segue. We're going to go next to the how to use sex toys with a sex partner, because we're talking about a basket for a couple. So you can just after you explain the basket, just go into that for our listeners. Okay.
Okay. Absolutely. And I'm kind of going piece by piece so you can see and telling how to use it.
Anyway, no problem.
There are some edibles and consumables also. There's one product that I love. It's called Happy Penis Massage Cream. Now, it sounds like it's only for the women to use on the men because it's happy penis. But what it does, it numbs the mouth a little bit, and it allows saliva to pool in the mouth. And we all know the wetter, the better. So you can, you can use it. You can put a little bit in your mouth. It allows the saliva to pool in your mouth, and you can get to work on your partner, be it male or female. It's a unisexual accessory.
Couples need all of that. Every bit of that.
Because wet is awesome. Wet is awesome. There are also, again, like I said, the bullet, a cock ring. You want to use a cock ring. I go over in my oral technique workshops. I teach ring on, so the fellas don't even have to worry about it. Because I always tell men to experience a cock ring with oral sex first, so you can see how it changes your experience.
So what would you say the level of experience between Like even with oral sex or with regular sex, what do you think this is with and without for our listeners?
Well, I've asked my male clients because I try to be very diligent, especially with my male clients, to make sure that they're catered to. I have my male clients have said it's a heightened sensation.
Okay.
Because if you notice when you put the rubber band around your finger, you feel every little change.
Right.
And I say do oral sex first because you have more movement with the tongue and the lips and the teeth and you have more movement than you do with just vagina. So I say use oral sex first so you can kind of really gauge all those sensation differences. Okay. And I also notice a difference in sensation with my circumcised versus my non-circumcised clients.
Okay.
Non-circumcised men are much more sensitive than circumcised.
Really?
Yeah, because the glans head is still protected throughout the day.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's from everything. And I had a client that got circumcised as a 32-year-old man. And he didn't realize how much, like he said, how rough my draws were. 300 count draws. I need 500 count draws because it was rougher because he wasn't
used to feeling something touching him.
Exactly. Exactly. He was like, "Whoa, cut it out." So there's a different sensation level with uncircumcised versus circumcised clients as well. So you got to take that into consideration too. Okay. But yeah, everyone that has used them and hasn't used them, that's not always going to use cock rings kind of reaction, but it is something different that they do enjoy, that they do say they will incorporate into future encounters.
Okay. So for the rest of your bags in that basket that you said.
Lubricant. Okay. Lubricant is always in the basket. If you are masturbating and you're not using lube, your life is incomplete. Okay. Lotion is not. you're not living the right type of lifestyle, baby. You're not. Hey, hold on one second, Goody. All my listeners out there, no lube, no lifestyle. Okay, that's all I'm telling you. Okay, you go ahead and get back into it. Right.
And that's male or female.
That's male or female, absolutely. Because what happens is a lot of times people use lotions and things of that nature, but think about it; those are designed to be absorbed into the skin. Lubricants are designed to sit on top of the skin. Okay. And if you're using anything that vibrates, it has a motor in it. And the motor warms up a little bit, just enough to evaporate your natural moisture. Okay. But the lubricant creates a plane between the toy and your flesh that gives you a smoother ride, as it were. Okay. And I tell my clients all the time, I don't care if you got that Aquafina, you got that wet, congratulations. Congratulations. However, if you're masturbating without lubricant, your life is incomplete. You're welcome. Okay. So I do put lubricants in there. I use one flavored and one non-flavored because oral play is you want to have some flavors sometimes. Okay. But I wouldn't suggest any of the heats or the tingles or any of that stuff. Okay. What else is in there? I also a little bit of an arousal gel, which works on men or women. And what happens is it's like Carmex. Okay, I got you. Essentially, so it gives that tingle to the clitoris, or you can put it on the head of the penis as well. Okay. And let's see, what else do I put in there? Sometimes if there's a bonus bag, there are position aids, and there may be one that my vendor is closing out, and I'll add a position aid or a pair of panties or a blindfold, because we go through sensory play, and if you have a blindfold on, you know that it enhances all your other senses because you can't see. Right. So, and it's all about sensuality and sexuality. So, and people don't know the difference, and I can tell you guys the difference in a second, but it's about sensuality versus sexuality.
Okay. And so during that time, about how much does that package run? Does the goodie package run during Christmas?
The Nice to Be Naughty package is $45. Okay. And that's with free shipping.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that puts us in that range that Alonzo was talking about at the beginning. So for $45, you can get the lube, you can get the cock ring, you can also get a blindfold, or one of the sensories and a bullet. For $45. Absolutely. Okay. And that's what you would say, even if you were building your own package, that's the one that's most important. Those are the things that are most important, especially if you're just starting, or even if you're experienced. That's something you always need.
Yes. If you're experienced, you probably have that stuff already, but it doesn't hurt to re-up. Right. There are always new flavors coming out. There are always new types of bullets coming out. They have the bullets that light up, that glow in the dark. That have the little strap for your finger. Right. Like I said, the computer one, I love the computer one. The one that's a USB for your computer, because it doesn't need batteries. It plugs into the USB on your computer. So when you're watching red tube or whatever,
Right. You can
you
use
have
those
a little
things.
accessory right there.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay, so going into the sex toys with your partner, or using sex toys with your partner, and even if you can speak on just how that enhances a relationship, rekindles, some lost love in the relationship and everything like that. Just for people who may be going through relationship problems, or for people who may have a great relationship, how those
Right.
things either rekindles it or takes it to the next level to give you an even better experience just in your relationship in general. And then also how the sexual part of the relationship is so important to a successful relationship environment with you and your partner.
Well, basically, I'm an intimacy consultant. I'm not a relationship expert or a sexpert or anything like that.
Okay.
I put sexpert in my bio because then people can Google me. But I'm an intimacy consultant, and intimacy is what happens when you're not having sex.
Okay.
Okay. So
And that's very interesting. I'm sorry. That's very important, and I'm glad that you say that. And I just want that to sink into a lot of our listeners, because
Okay.
a lot of people think of intimacy as the sexual part of the relationship, but it's interesting that you said intimacy is when you're not having sex.
Yeah, sex is a type of intimacy.
Correct.
Not the other way around.
Correct.
I mentioned earlier about sexuality versus sensuality. Sensuality is living through all 5 of your senses.
Wow.
It is enjoying the smells and sights, and it's like being outside on a beautiful day with the sun on your face kind of thing. Okay. Versus sexuality is when it's time to get sexual. And most people don't get sensual until it's time to get sexual.
Correct.
Okay. So when we have the intimacy, and we're talking about that, intimacy and sex is the most close type of communication in a relationship, in a romantic relationship. And typically women tend to manifest their disheartening or their discouragement with the clothed relationship in the bedroom, because that's where we feel that we have the most control.
Okay.
So
as
if
you
not
do.
So if you're not having sex, or if you're not getting the sex that you want or something like that, you might want to check in with your partner to see what's going on, because that's not having sex is a symptom of a bigger issue.
Yes.
She may not feel comfortable saying something to you, but she's that makes her not comfortable enough to sleep with you either.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So that's one thing when we're talking about, relationships in trouble or relationships that are facing challenges. That's why I want to become a doctor of human sexuality, because when I'm speaking to right now, I counsel couples, I counsel women, I counsel men to get about how their communication and how their lives affect their sex lives. And so I want to make sure that I'm trained properly to do so. So what I would suggest, like, are experimenting with their sexual play and things of that nature, you want to make sure that you're as good as you can be, as meshed and everything is fitting as well as it can before you kind of go into that, because that is a type of communication that is supremely intimate. Like, if your partner likes toys and she used toys before she got with you, but she doesn't feel comfortable enough to say, hey, I like this. This is what I like, and I want you to experience this with me, then there's a level of intimacy that you're missing, because she doesn't feel comfortable enough to tell you that she likes this. Fellas, if you're having erectile issues, like I said, with the condom nature, or if you're just kind of having an erectile issue, you don't have, Viagra or Cialis or any of those things. There are toys, there are sex toys, there are adult accessories that can help you make love to your partner without taking drugs. There are hollow straps and hollow, they're like penises, but they're hollow. So you can place yourself inside that, and you can still make love to your partner. And what typically happens is that the man becomes so aroused using his partner that he does actually become aroused as well. And you can either remove the piece or keep the piece on or whatever. It also goes great for role play, because if you're going to play strangers in the club, you might want, be a stranger for real, So
Okay.
there are definitely accessories that help increase intimacy in a relationship. The position aids. There are different types of pillows that you can use to help angle the woman upward, angle the woman downward. There are little straps. They're like these long strips of fabric that have loops at the ends. Now, one of them is a position aid where the woman puts the strap underneath her and puts her foot in the loops, and it helps her hold her legs open so she can have them open and up and back without her having to hold them and without you having to hold them. Okay.
Wow.
And it gets to the penetration and the connection and, the eye contact and all those things that go into great passionate lovemaking. There are harnesses that are called doggy straps. And what that is, it goes around the woman's waist. So if you're hitting it from the back, some of them have straps that have handles on the sides, so you can hold on to the handles instead of gripping her hips. You can pull her into you.
I like gripping the hips, though. I like the hips, though.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, I've had an issue. I had a client and his girlfriend, and she was a little than what he's used to. She's a little physically more, you know, she's a curvy girl, okay? And so he was having an issue with the hip grabbing because he wasn't able to get her together. So I gave them a sash, and the sash, basically, you use it, and he could grab that and pull her into him more effectively. You know what I'm saying? She may be sensitive and be a crybaby, and you can't grip her hips right because she's, you know, she's a crybaby. Right. So then you get the little thing and you get the handles. It just depends. And it also gives you a level of that holistic. You get a chance to not have to worry about holding her legs or grabbing her hips or doing any of that. You just got this, you know, this industrial piece of whatever in your hand, and you just going for it. You know what I'm saying? So
I see you.
It just
I see you. Okay, I do have a question.
Wait, Mo. Before you, I got a question. I got a question for you. Okay, so I'm going to ask this question, Goody, from like a female point of view, right? Okay, so I can see a female wanting to, because most females that I kind of run into, I think they're more experienced in this than what men are for the most part.
Because they're marketed toward us, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So how could they get their man into all of this? You know, I know you kind of touched on it a little bit, but how can they start that conversation or do these things without, you know, like offending their man or making him think that, oh man, I got a freak on my hands. I don't know, because I can't trust her now, you know, that kind of thing. Like,
trust her because she's got a drawer full of helpers instead of a phone full of helpers, but whatever.
But that's a common misconception.
Yeah, it
that's
is.
a common
It
misconception.
Really is. A lot of fellas, what I do, like I said, I have co-ed events, and I always brace this question and bring it up in co-ed events. The fellas, you don't get intimidated by things that vibrate because toys can't pull hair, toys can't smack ass, toys can't talk shit. You see what I'm saying?
They sure can't. I tell you, Goody, they can't.
The toys, there are things that the toys can do that biological penis cannot. They can spin, they can vibrate, and things of that nature. But why can't you can give that to her? Like, you can be holding the accessory. There's no issue with you guys using them together.
Now with that, what to make men more comfortable, just give them an example of I guess you already did the type of things.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Yeah. That, the best thing to do when you're trying to incorporate a sex toy into your relationship for a woman is to make sure you get a toy that he's not intimidated by. 10, little 2-inch bullet in. If he's intimidated by that, y'all got a whole nother issue. Okay. You know that inch bullet is not going to be bigger than your man, and if it is, he must really make you laugh and you love him because again, you have a whole nother issue. So you bring in this little 2-inch bullet, and you be like, oh yeah, look what I won. You don't even have to tell him you bought it.
Okay.
Look what I won, and look what it can do. And then you put it under your chin, and you put him in your mouth, and you go to it. Or you give it to him and give him the bullet and put it on your clit and let him see what it can do.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You play with the toy together. As far as making a man more comfortable with the toy, again, like I said, if it's not penis shaped, that's a great thing because all accessories are not penis shaped. Most men, when you think of sex toys, you think of, dildos and strap-ons and those types of things. And those are sex toys, absolutely. Again, there are bullets, there are stimulators, there are vibrators, there are nipple ticklers, there are clit ticklers, there are accessories that are designed to help a woman find her G-spot so she can squirt. I mean, there are tons of accessories that are not penis shaped.
And just to go with that idea, your site, I went into your site and looked at a couple of the things and things like that, and I saw a lot of different things for men that men may not know that are out there. Like, I saw sex toys that had legs on them. And all kind of like crazy things So I mean, I know there are things out there that's not even the norm. Like, with me, I think sex toys, I think of, like you said, the about those, and then I heard the rabbit. I've heard that before.
Gotta have a rabbit.
And then dildos. And then at that point, I'm pretty much out of what it is.
You're uncomfortable at that point.
I don't know. It's not even about uncomfortable. I just don't know anything else about that.
Okay. Okay. Well, another thing I would say, around Valentine's Day, I do a special, and it's a really, really good accessory. It's the remote control vibrating panty.
Whoa.
Vibrating panties?
Yes.
Is this stuff new or is it old?
Some of it is new, some of it is old, and they're doing great things. Like they're renovating it over and over and over. So the vibrating panty, there are several different kinds. Some of them have like the remote control bullet that just vibrate in the crotch area. Some of them have like this little insert that the bullet is inside, so that when you put the panty on, it's an insert. So that's right vaginal opening.
You just walk around with that on all day?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
so
that's what I heard.
So when we see women happy at work, it's for a reason.
Yeah, she's like, oh, we don't have a staff meeting? You sure you don't want to have a staff meeting? Let's have a staff meeting. So no, but the vibrating panty is a great couple's accessory because you put the panty on. I tell my lady clients all the time, you put the panty on, you wrap up the remote control like a present. You sit in his lap and give him his present. And like, what is this? And he start, you know how men do. Y'all start pushing buttons when you open something with buttons on it. You push a button and now all of a sudden your lady is vibrating in your lap.
Oh, remote control boy on the whole thing.
Yes.
I need that in my life. So where would I pick something up like that?
You would go to ladyinthesheets.com to get something like that. That's ladyinthesheets.com. Okay. And then you would use discount code Urban Pro to get 15.
Okay, there we go.
Sounds good.
But no, so the vibrating panty is awesome because then let's say once you've got the gift, now y'all still going on your little date or whatever, but you have the so all night it's y'all's little naughty little secret. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be mad about that.
Oh no, I'm never mad about that.
So she walking and you know what I'm saying? I tell people like if it's Super Bowl season, you having a party at the house, whatever, but you need her attention and she's ignoring you. You hit that button.
I love it.
And she's like, yes.
I love it.
Did you need me, dear? Did you need me? And they work up to, some of them work up to 25 feet. Some of them work up to 40 feet. There are several that are, the Oh My Bod collection is actually music controlled. It vibrates in tandem with the beat of the music that you're listening to or that's surrounding you. You can plug it into your MP3 player, your iPod. I mean, that's for my real music lovers.
You can put that new 2 Chainz on and it's banging. It's banging with the beat.
All of a sudden, she's a hip hop fan.
Wow. So I can get her to like the type of music I like by vibrating her panties.
Because the bass lines in the music that you like
will vibrate the panties.
Are going to become the bass lines that she likes.
Oh, man.
And I say that's a couple's accessory.
Say that one more time for me. Say that one more time. You said what you said? You said the bass lines?
You get the control. Yes, the bass lines. The bass lines. I mean, you get the control and she gets the pleasure. What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that.
I say it's a couple's accessory, but I feel like it's more of a men's accessory because men like control. You need her to say yes, sir. That's how you get her to say yes, sir. Okay.
You can control arguments like that when your girl starts. You want to see? What movie you want to see?
I mean, and in that same vein, there are remote control cock rings as well that you can put on the base of the penis, and they vibrate based on the response from a remote control. There is a vibrate there. We also have wireless bullets that are not necessarily associated with a panty, but there are panties that have a vibrating, like a compartment for something that vibrates. There's one that's actually controlled by the remote control. Looks like a ring.
Okay. And
so the bullet is controlled by the remote control ring, but it doesn't have a panty with it. But we do have panties that have a space. And everything I have, I have lingerie, books, DVDs, shoes, wigs, playwear, LGBT stuff, movies, games, bachelorette stuff. I mean, we have everything on my site. Any lingerie or panty or anything like that is also available in plus sizes because I am a curvy cutie myself, and I need my sisters to make sure that they can get their sex on as well.
Okay. So before we end the show, what we're gonna do is fact or fiction. So fact and fiction. I'm sorry. So just give us a couple of facts about sex toys that people would need to know. And give us a couple of fictions that people may think about sex toys that is not true before we get out of here.
Okay, well, I only have like 2 or 3, 1 or 2 facts. Well, basically, the main fiction, the main myth that surrounds sex toys is that women that use sex toys are desensitized. Their clitoral, nerve endings have been so over vibration that they're no longer as sensitive as they used to be when they actually have a partner. That's not true. And again, using lube will help maintain your sensitivity because it slides across as opposed to not sliding across. Another myth is that, you don't, as the fellas, she don't need toys, she got me kind of thing. I'm a happily married woman, and I'm also a dildo dealer. Like, my husband has no
dealer. I hope everybody heard that slang that was coming out right there. Dildo dealer. I like that.
Yeah. My husband has no issue. We use toys. A lot of the toys that I've introduced in my parties and stuff, we've actually, when I order a new one, I order 2 so we can try one at home so I can give, my review. You gotta, there's an increased level of intimacy with using an accessory. And the main myth is that it takes away from the intimacy in a relationship. But in fact, it enhances that. It's like, the closeness of a chick that you use the vibrating panties with, y'all can look back and laugh on that. And you always have that kind of, it's just something that kind of builds another level to your connection.
One thing I would like to point out for all our listeners out there, especially, and myself, considering myself a Christian, all of our Christian listeners and things like that out there, is that you're married, and it doesn't have to be, this is not a subject, sex is not something that's heathenistic. You feel that? You feel that word I brought out on them? Heathenistic.
Yeah.
So this is something that we all need to be comfortable with, and you understand the importance of sex with a partner that you love and you want to spend the rest of your life with. So I want to bring out the importance of that to people. We're not promoting sex as an irresponsible thing. Goody has a lot of different organizations that she works with to promote safe sex and everything like that. And also, as a married woman, I put that in the forefront. And
my husband, when we do co-ed parties, my husband goes with me. Like, he has a Got Toys t-shirt. Like, he knows the products too. He tells people, he makes the men more comfortable. Wonderful. Because he's aware of what's going on. But like you said, you brought Christianity into it. I've actually taught an oral technique workshop for a married women's ministry, a party for the single ministry, because when you get people that have been in the world, church, they have these urges that have been created from being in the world, and you kind of have to keep those at bay so you can focus on, your walk with God and things. Activity is not about doing something that is dirty, as it were. It's about making sure that you have the tools that you need to build a healthy, complete person. And sexuality is a very large part of a healthy, complete person.
Good. Well, Goody, I would love to thank you for coming on to our information that you gave us. I know you really taught me something. I hope that you taught all our listeners something. Alonzo, you have anything to say to Goody before?
Before you go, so just leave us all with your next events you have coming up. I know you mentioned to me you have 3 or 4 annual events that you have in Dallas. So just tell us a little bit about that and how people can get in contact with you and make it out to your events.
Okay, well, you can reach me at askgoody.com, goodyhoward.com, oladeinthesheets.com. My handle is Ask Goody on every social media site, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Ask Goody, ASKGOODY. My annual event that I have that's coming on June 7th, I'm doing my Shake It for Daddy event. This is the 3rd annual Shake It for Daddy event.
What's Shake It for Daddy? I need to know what's Shake It for Daddy.
Shake It for Daddy is my annual striptease class in preparation for Father's Day. Those are men too, and how many neckties does a man really need?
I got I buy them myself. I don't need no more from you. Not for my wife.
So it's like, so it's like, it happens the weekend before Father's Day, the Saturday before Father's Day. The weekend, because Father's Day on Sunday. So it'll be the weekend before Father's Day, and we do like a mini toy presentation, and then we teach a strip routine. Okay. So that way, if you do order any toys, they'll be to you before Father's Day happens, and you have the whole week to practice your routine, practice your little stuff, and make sure that you got it together.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well,
sounds
Goody,
great.
like I said again, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, and you're definitely a friend of the show, always. And we'll have you back on soon. All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.